What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of All the Monster. I'm your host, Bam. How are you doing today? Well, we have a couple things to talk about, actually. Let me go down here. So, I continued on with this. We now have a full farm of Inferium seeds. Some of these are tier 2. I've been sitting here with this Ring of Growth. I have a wireless charger now under here, over there. So I've been sitting here with this Ring of Growth, letting just Inferium grow so I can build up some seeds. But I realized something, probably like midnight, the night before recording this, pretty much right after finishing the last episode. If I go to uranium seeds, so this is the end goal with mystical agriculture for us right now, is uranium seeds, right? You need supremium. Okay, whatever, it's the top tier thing. I expected to be expensive, right? Let me go over here. In order to get supremium, I need to first make a tier 4 crafting seed. This requires growth essence. This is the same problem we encountered with the clutches. I did not look at this before I started this project. This is the same thing we need for the clutches, which means I need royal jelly, flux floto grow, mana powder, fertilizer from industrial for growing, and fertilizer from actually additions. This is expensive. It is going to take a while. So, we need to come up with some interim power before this runs out, because I can keep going around in the mining world and getting uranium, but that is a lot of upkeep, and I would rather get more than uranium from my mining efforts. I do need other ores and stuff, right? So, we're going to come up with some interim power to supplement this big old reactor. And somebody noticed last episode, yeah, I forgot to say it, I upgraded the reactor a bit. It's actually kind of nice. It's very efficient now with all of these magnesium and lapis coolers. We're doing like 3200 RF a tick, and it's negative 733 heat. I could start using MOX fuel, which is a combination of plutonium and uranium, and probably still be safe in there when we run out of uranium, but I want to be prepared just in case. So, we're going to come up with an easy, renewable, and cheap power source to begin with, and what I've been thinking I'm gonna do is we are going to use the power of trees by using an arboreal extractor and some spruce trees. We're going to set up a little farm with probably a dozen or so of these, and that will give us sap. Let's go up here is when I've been crafting it. That will give us sap and rosin, or it'll give us tree oil and rosin. Tree oil inside of a, let me just remember because I can't remember the name of the dynamo. Inside of a compression dynamo, generates 400,000 RF per tick. Okay, per bucket. That's a lot. That is a lot of energy per tick off of a bucket. Right. So if we can get an efficient farm set up, that's 400k we're producing, which is more actually than we're producing down there. Obviously, the method is slower, right? That is more. That's only 3,200. It's not 32k. Yeah, it's 3,200. So this will technically be a more efficient power source for us to start off with. So I've been working on this. I'm grinding up some copper to make some of the arboreal extractors. And I've upgraded all our machines with Electrum upgrades now because we have the resources to do so. It's so nice having resources now. I'm kind of still sad and trying not to grind up more than I need for most things, because I do want to set up the mechanism stuff eventually. How many stacks is this? I still try to divide these evenly. So 2 per. Boop. Boop. And then you get 3. Boom, whatever. Because I still want to set up the mechanism stuff, but at this point, that's far later. We have more rooms to build. We have more things to do. We got to get into bees now. I wasn't expecting to get into bees till later, but I think we're going to get into some gendistry stuff pretty soon here. So I'm going to need to make these device frames, which require a lot of copper gears, so I'm making as many as I can. And doing this. What am I missing now? Oh, I still got to make this. There we go. 5 of those. That's 1 tree's worth, basically. What am I missing? Servos. Make a stack of those because I use so much thermal expansion stuff. So this is one tree. One tree. I'm going to explain this once I get some spruce wood. But basically, what you do is in order to gain sap, you got to do this. This is not a sap-bearing tree, so it doesn't work. But this is how you have to set it up. You can't set it up on higher blocks. You can't remove the dirt from underneath it. You have to have a legitimate tree farm. But this is more efficient than having a tree farm where we're cutting everything down and burning charcoal. You're causing less lag. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. I just need to go find some spruce trees, get some saplings, because I haven't seen a single one. I have not seen a single one. There's actually some right there, I think. I think those are technically spruces. No, they're not. They're firs. Okay, I'm going to go find some spruce trees, and we'll be back when I'm ready to set this thing up. All right, I have a couple of these. I'm just laying out my plan here. I'm going to see if this is going to work the way I think it's going to work. Let's grab ourselves... First off, F7. Oh, that won't work in an inventory. F7, please. Causes so much lag. I need some bone meal. Some bone meal. Yeah, hey. All right. So, I don't know if these arboreal extractors will take in from all four sides. So, this part is a guessing game for me. Let's get one of these grown. You're not going to want to grow because you're too close to this, aren't you? What about you? There we go. Look at you. Look at you. Oh, there's so many of these everywhere. So, another tip. You don't want to take care of all of the leaves. You need to leave at least the top 2 layers of leaves on these things for it to still think it's a tree. So, the pyramid at the top needs to stay. And then you can do this. That's working. You do that. That's working. Let's grab another chiseled marble. And you don't need to do this. This is just me for my own mental purposes. And those are now going to start pulling sap from these trees. And you can put fertilizer. It tells you here how to do it. You can put fertilizer in this to boost production. But we're not going to worry about that. And it does look like it can input from all sides. So if I do this and somehow get this thing to grow. Trees are so stubborn in Minecraft. So stubborn. So stubborn. Me all of that. I can go away. I said you can go away, good sir. Wow, 5 bones from 1 rib bone? That's not how physiology works, but okay. So this may be more difficult than I wanted it to be, simply because these trees don't want to grow. Which is fine. You can not grow. They want 2? Yeah, they're gonna want 2 in between everyone. Okay, that's lame. Whatever. Whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna continue to lay this out and plant these down, and then I'm gonna make the dynamos and show you how this is done. All right, I got some magic going on over here. So piping is ran above and below. This is for fertilizer. And I, for the life of me, cannot figure out what fertilizer these actually use. Because I made thinking, well, this is obvious. You know, everything uses fertilizer from forestry. So I made like 1,200 fertilizer because I have so much appetite. And tried to put it in here and nothing wants to go in here. Bone meal, fertilizer. So I don't want to waste the time and resources to go through all of these. So I will wait. And maybe someone in chat can tell me, because I couldn't figure it out. And I couldn't find anything on any of the usual suspects forums. It was kind of disappointing. This sound block has been really throwing me off, because like it goes back to like right here. So I was working on this and it'd be like when I was breaking blocks. So it's kind of insane. So all of this is pumping out tree sap to this basic tank, right? And then this basic tank is going to have to go to these fractionating stills. And I made 16 of them just because I had 16 of those. I might as well make 16 of these. So 1, 2, I didn't make these lines even. It should be a 4x4 grid. So I'm going to fix that as soon as I'm done placing that down. And then these 4 need to be over here as well. So it's going to be a very simple setup. Boop, 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 boop. All right, and then I'm going to... let's see, how are they set up currently? The sap's going to come out the top. The rosin's going to come out these sides. I think I'm going to make the rosin... how am I going to do this like this? They can't be in this pattern. They need spaces between them, unfortunately, because I need to get power to these middle ones, which makes me sad, because this is actually almost perfect. Almost perfect. All right, let me figure out how I'm going to actually lay these out. Okay, so my idea for this is going to be... actually, for once, using Ender IO, because it seems to be the best solution for this. So, we're going to have to do... the way that these can work is we'll do it through the back portion. Both outputs can be put out over the same port, which would be this orange port, right? So let me change all of these to the orange port. And that will allow us to put 2 different outputs back here, because these can stack. So pressurized fluid conduits plus item conduits. That's the cool thing about these Ender IO tubes, is you can fit multiples in one block. And we can also add power here while we're at it. So all the power is running down the middle here. Everything is running down these center conduits, which is really freaking cool. I really like the design of these pipes in this use case. So I can take the rest of these fractionating stills. Make sure each one should be 8, if I remember right. Boom. 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 Ah. No, give me that back. And finish configuring them. And that will be our outputs and our power for this entire system, which is really freaking cool. And then inputs will be basic. We'll do all the inputs on the top with fluid ducts. All right, I'm ready to put the finishing touches on this entire piece. Oh, that's just going to connect like that, isn't it? I'm going to have to fix that. Going to have to change how this entire flow works. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. And all these should be configured correctly, I would hope. We're about to find out. Do this. And that should start draining. I might need a servo on it. Yep, there we go. Gonna start draining, and then I'm gonna bring that over there. Just to let that keep filling. And now these are all processing these fractionating, or all this tree sap, or all this resin into tree sap, which makes rosin. And eventually, I think it already made it. I just missed it. No, it would have nowhere to output to. I haven't laid down the compression dynamos yet. So is it not a guaranteed drop from it? Oh, I bet it's floating around in these tubes. Yeah, look, it's got it. It's got filled. It's filled already. All right, I'm going to lay down these compression dynamos and do the same thing. Okay, I think I have everything working the way I want it to. This took way longer than I expected it to. One thing I didn't notice, I was losing my mind. That's why this chest is here. That can go away now. I was losing my mind over this stuff not outputting into the dynamos. I have reconfigured this thing a dozen times. It turns out that these are set to never active by default. So you need to set them to always active, and you can't do that with the wrench. So this took a little bit. Obviously, I missed some, so I'm just double checking now. But this system is working out awesomely. I'm definitely going to need more trees, more production. That is a thing that definitely needs to happen. Unfortunately, you can't just build your own trees. You can't just put some spruce wood logs down and have it work that way. Yeah, because as you can see, this is just very slowly. Very, very slowly. So right now, the rosin production is actually the best. These are outputting 4 RF per tick. I'm going to upgrade these eventually. These are all full on storage. I wish you could have them not burn while they're fully charged. But with this much power, means I can go into the mining age over here and just start eating up a bunch of power. Because I have a reason to burn it now. I could also shut off the oh, this is actually done. Wow. That's impressive. Let's move this then. Boop. All right, do I have everything? Get that. I like how compact this setup is too. And that. Turn on Silk Touch and go! It's got 22,000 blocks. Our bottleneck right now is actually this power cell. I need an upgraded power cell. That does... I'm assuming this is like 10,000 RF per tick out. Which means I need infused diamonds, which means I need dimensional shards, which I still don't have any of. So we're going to take this with us real quick into the nether. Boop, 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 boop. We're going to go find some dimensional shards. That ore only spawns in the nether. Just like some of the mystical agriculture stuff actually only spawns in the nether. So I've had to do this a couple times off camera. I'm just going to show you what I've been doing with it. So we go over here into the nether. And this is probably a good, because I haven't farmed right here yet. Boom. Do that. What are the dimensional shards made from? How do I... Oh, you can craft these now. They're not an ore. There you go. Dimensional shard ore. So I'm gonna do config, do ore, dim. That needs to be capitalized. Oh, it thinks diamond. Or the meh. There we go. That should. And then I should be able to start that. And there's nothing here. So I'm going to move this around a couple times and try to find some of this dimensional shard ore. Maybe I have to craft it in this pack. I don't know. I haven't seen any yet. Usually it's in not abundance, but like it's common in the nether. Well, looking at this, it actually does not spawn naturally in the world. You need like void ore miners to make it, or you go to the end, it looks like. So we're gonna go back to the overworld and just craft some, which is kind of nice that there is a crafting recipe. I have a feeling that's the intended route. We may have to go to the village. I think I'm out of emeralds. I really need to just make myself a waystone instead of flying back every time. Okay, so how do I craft this stuff? Boom, boom. That actually makes as many as I need, I think. No, I need to do 4 of those. What am I missing? I am missing the prismarine, which is actually super easy for me to get. So you go do some nether quartz. For those who haven't seen how to do this before, let me here at this inventory. So prismarine, you don't need a fortress if you have actually additions. You just use the atomic reconstructor. And unfortunately, this thing has a very low power output. I don't know if you can... upgrade this thing. I would hope you can, because this is a really good way of doing this. 14's good enough. Boom. Boom. 1, 2, 3. All right. Do that. And then I'm gonna need this, please and thank you. I already had one in my inventory. Oh, because I have the miner with me. Boom. All right. And then, where's my digital miner? Oh, I planted it down in the nether and didn't pick it up. Whoops. All right, so we take this, we go into the mining dimension, and we should be able to, I haven't gone this way yet, I don't think. Let's go out this far. Wish there was an easy way to tell where you did your business. All right. And that should be able to output enough, 20,000 RF a tick. Yeah. You guys are ready to see this, like, just completely be broken? Let's, do this. All right. Go! It's still not fast enough. Oh. Output. There we go. Oh, it's fast enough! I'm actually draining my power, too. Oh. Oh, that's so awesome. That's so much power per tick. I'm not generating 15,000 RF per tick. So I'm gonna turn that part off. But this is mining faster now that it has more power, which is great. Oh, yeah. All right. So what I need to do next is I need to make some hardened upgrades for all of these dynamos to increase power output. So I'm going to do that. Literally doubled. I went from 4 trees to 8. And that seems to have sped things up a little bit. I did a little bit more research. I found out that you need to use the Phyto Glow or whatever it is to for ooh, that is an interesting. If only these could take upgrades. I have to use Phyto Glow variants for this, which kind of blows. So we're not quite there yet. I don't quite have the stuff yet, but I know another thing we want to make with magical crops. I'm gonna need to make niter and stuff with the magical crops. I don't think you can make a phyto. Yeah, there's no phyto seed, but like I would need to make seeds for the niter and quite possibly charcoal seeds. I think there's charcoal seeds. If not, we start an actual tree farm. Oh, there is charcoal seeds. Look at that. No, that's tiny charcoal. Never mind. So we're going to have to start this tree farm as well if we want to supply this thing with fertilizer. But this is, now that I've doubled it, it's going pretty fast. This tank is never getting filled. But there's at least something flowing almost all the time. I now have a bunch of hardened upgrades, and I'm going to slap them on all of these. This gives them the opportunity to have an augment, but it also increases how much power they could store and power efficiency ever so slightly. This is distracting. Oh, wow. Did I already do that one? Oh, no, I switched to that. This is hard and confusing. I'm paying attention to the corners. All right, and then another thing I wanted to do is I want to grab all of the rosin we had made before into that chest and output it. So rosin, there we go. It's because there's 248 rosin right here. That's a lot of fuel. And then a chest, and then I have my Yeta wrench. Cool. Come over here. Whoop, 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 whoop. And then that's outputting, which means I can do that. And those should all... Oh, wait. I keep forgetting. That's so dumb. Yeah, okay, so now those should all output to the steam dynamos and start producing steam, which is awesome! All right, so that is a supplement power to what we are currently doing with the nuclear generator, so the nuclear generator does not have to work as hard. Gonna buy us a little bit more fuel and a safety plan just in case we do run out of fuel. I also made another one of these advanced power cells just so we can get the input capacity right here. I'm gonna have to make another one downstairs if we upgrade the reactor again. But that's for another day. Another day, another dollar. This is still going. This is starting to go swimmingly. How much Inferium do we now have now? Inferium. Oh, we have 229 Inferium. So I can start crafting up some Inferium blocks. I already made one. one of these growth accelerators, which increases the tick rate ever so slightly for these. I wanna stockpile some essence, and then we'll get into the seeds and stuff of the like. I need to get into bees soon. Bees is a must. I need the stone before I need anything else. Second. This is bothering me. We're gonna need to do bees. We're gonna need to get flux flido glow. Uranium seed. We're gonna need to make fertilizer from different mods. We're gonna need mana powder, which means gunpowder, redstone powder, all that into a mana pool, which means I'm gonna have to get into Botania. Which I've never done Botania, like, at all. I've never even looked at it. It was one of those mods where I was like, this is complicated, leave me alone. But we can make it out of almost anything. So I could set up a sugar farm and start automating mana powder pretty easily, probably. I don't know if you can automate that sort of thing with the mana. I'd have to do some research. Are you on? You're not even on. Why are you clicking? I don't know. So, that is a thing, guys. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you enjoyed this episode and you learned something today, be sure to click that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more what we're going to be doing in this world. I have so many plans and so many things to do still. We're only on episode 8. And I will see you guys all next time. Peace out!